Okay, hello out there. This will be my first foray into what I hope will develop into a podcast, and maybe I can have some people on here and we can discuss topics about racing in North Texas, racing in Texas, group rides, group ride etiquette, um, the bike shop, just all things in general cycling. My love for vintage old bicycles, specifically, Bianchis and Chinellis and Colnagos and Pinarellos, and my quest to find the golden unicorns out there at the right price. So, having said that, and I guess at some point we got to come up with a name for this. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about bike maintenance and showing up on a group ride prepared. So someone told me years ago, clean bike is a happy bike. And I don't expect everyone to have or exercise the same level of OCD that I have and keep their bike showroom new, although it's nice. On the other side of the coin, I don't expect people to have bikes that, just to change a tire, you need a set of rubber gloves, otherwise your hands are going to get black. So take care of your bike. Taking care of your bike affords you the opportunity to do preventative maintenance, to look over the bike, to look over the equipment, to see what's wearing down, to see what needs to be replaced, to see what needs to be adjusted kind of immediately. I am kind of old school. I wash my bikes. There's many, great bicycle industry-based products out there to wash your bike with. I use Dawn dishwashing detergent and warm soapy water and soft rag. Soap it up and hose it off. Usually wipe it down until it's completely dry, or used compressed air from our compressor at the store and, blow the majority of the water off. It's really, really crucial that, all the pivots on the derailleurs, all the pivots on the brakes, the chain, the pulley jockeys in the rear derailleur are lubed after a bike is washed. I mean, it's really, really crucial. And I also think it's important not to overlube. Make sure that if you're oiling your chain up, that, you are taking that rag and doubling it over, tripling it over, and running the chain through it backwards so that you're taking all the excess oil off there. I really like, again, there's a number of professional products out there to polish your bike with. I still think Lemon Pledge is the best. It keeps the paint moist, it keeps carbon moist, and that's a whole can of wax or a whole can of bees that you can open up. Does wax need to stay moist, and does wax need to stay, does carbon frames and carbon wheels need to, stay moist? I think that I have seen cases, especially on wheels, where people have used products that were very astringent, and you get a ghosting on the wheels, or like a white film over the top of the wheels. And I've got to believe in my heart of hearts. I've never spoke with the people at Envy. I've never spoke with the people at Zip, but I've got to believe in my heart of hearts that, that's not the best thing in the world for carbon fiber and the integral structure of the carbon. But again, I could be wrong. I'm just going, a lot based on, my personal experiences. So like I said, I like using Lemon Pledge. I put it on the frame, wipe it down, gives the frame a nice look, gives it a good shine. Dirt wipes off it really easily after a while. It protects the paint. And now with the advent of rotors and disc wheels, I wipe the carbon wheels down, my Envy wheels down also with it. So I do that. And at the time, as I'm doing all that, I'm looking at the tires. I'm looking for cuts. I'm looking for, how bad is the tread. I've also gotten into the habit of dating my tires. I'll take a Sharpie and I write the date on the sidewall of when I've actually installed them. And right now, this year I was, riding 250 to 350 miles a week. With the new Continental Grand Prix 5000s, I was getting 14 to 1600 miles out of a pair of them. Your mileage may vary. I live in North Texas. We do a ton of rides up here on a really kind of abrasive surface, which is known as chip seal. And especially up here in Salina and Weston, North McKinney, this road surface really just kind of eats up, brand new tires. It's really tough. So yeah, it's a good time to look at that, check the derailleurs, make sure the gears are adjusted properly, make sure your brakes aren't squealing, make sure the brakes are stopping, look at the brake pads, make sure they don't need to be replaced. Handlebar tape it's an excellent time to look at handlebar tape. Just, take some time and really, really look at the bike and look at it with an objective eye and, what needs to be done. And if stuff needs to be done, replace it or repair it. And this kind of segues me into group riding etiquette, for roadside repairs. On many group rides, someone gets a flat, someone has a mechanical. On a lot of these rides, everybody knows I work in a bike shop, and so they, instinctively turn to me, Mike, can you help them out? Yeah, no problem. I don't mind helping them out. It's easy. It's one of the things I do for a living. Have your stuff, man. Have your stuff. And what I mean by that is, have that little get home safe pack underneath the seat with a tube and tire levers and a CO2 and a dispenser, and have a tube that's in good working condition. And if you have, Zip 404s or a set of NV56s on there, make sure it's an 80 millimeter tube, a valve on the tube that's 80 millimeters, not a 38 millimeter, and expect somebody to pull a $10 or $12 tube out of theirs and hand it over to you just out of the goodness of their heart. That I have on occasion given people, I always carry 80s, 80 millimeter tubes, and because it's what I use for the wheels I use. And, there's been a few times people have been like, oh, I don't have a tube. You don't have a tube? How the hell can you show up for a group ride without a tube? I mean, it's incredulous to me. But people do, and because I'm a sucker, or I'm stupid, or out of the goodness of my heart, I've given them the tube and never gotten it back, never gotten money back, never gotten it back, and it's fine, man. Karma's a boomerang. What you put out in the world comes back to you tenfold. So I don't mind doing it. But always be prepared, and always have your own stuff. Many times, your local bike shop, if you're not versed on how to change a tube, if you go to your local bike shop, they'll be more than happy to give you a tutorial. Maybe when they've got some downtime or when it's kind of quiet, and they can help you out with it. But make sure you have your own stuff. Show up for a group ride with your own stuff, and show up for a group ride with a bike that's in good working order. No one wants to stand, especially June, July, August, when it's 100 million degrees outside. Nobody wants to stand on a ride on the side of the road while you diddle with your bike, or people screw around with your bike trying to get it to, work again. Check everything, make sure everything's in good working order. And, I guess finally, I can end this with, just something about group etiquette. And that in itself could be, an hour-long discussion. But I would talk about, something that my friend George Marcus kind of instilled in me years ago. And Dr. Marcus said, when we're out there, we all got to take care of each other. And we do. We all have to take care of each other. So, especially now in the age of, distracted drivers and, don't ride alone, ride in a group. Make sure people are okay. Crashes are going to happen. I mean, it's insane. It's inevitable. but they're going to happen. But just make sure that the people you're with are okay, because they're going to do the same for you someday. So, been going on for 10 minutes now. I guess this is a good start for a first one. I'll try and do these every couple of days, and I'll post it on Facebook until I do a little more research and kind of figure out what a good kind of podcast hosting service is. But this with Facebook now just kind of seems like a fairly easy way to do this. So feel free to post any comments or questions or topics that you may want to hear about, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, so for now, it's Mike, and man, it's raining and drought all summer, and we get to fall. It's my favorite time of the year to ride, and we're getting nothing but rain now. So I guess it's going to be the trainer for me. So I'll be talking to you soon. Have a great day.